It's been almost 1 year since the YSL RICO trial has begun, with Young Thug being indicted on 8 of the 65 charges, with thank God none of them being murder. The Young Thug YSL RICO trial has become the longest trial in Georgia history, leaving the streets of hip-hop with some very divided opinions about Young Thug, Gunna, and YSL's biggest snitch, YSL Woody.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
YSL Woody is essentially taking the hip-hop YouTube streets by storm for his unapologetic street and hood personality that we've seen in court. He's on YouTube doing 20v1s, he's in the streets getting pressed by random people, and he's also doing a bunch of world tours going on different platforms, building his clout up, and being known as a comedian for snitching on Young Thug. Now, so much has changed since we last spoke about the Young Thug YSL RICO trial, with Judge Euro Glanville, the presiding judge, being replaced twice, and now the judge presiding over the trial is Judge Paige Whittaker. The court case started today with YSL Woody taking a stand, and the state pretty much cornered him, giving him an immunity deal. So the reason why the state is giving him an immunity deal in the first place is because they want him to give incriminating information about Young Thug. So if they give him an immunity deal, he has no reason to plead the fifth, because if he were to plead the fifth, he'd most likely be giving information that could incriminate himself. However, since they're offering the immunity, it's like they're taking away his left hand. It's like he can only go right, he can only go right, and he can only take the immunity deal, right? Because you can't plead the fifth because we're taking that away from you. So it's kind of weird in a sense, because YSL Woody realistically kind of does have to give up information anyway, and he's pretty much been doing that the entire trial. However, he's been acting oblivious in certain ways, saying how, oh, he doesn't know what he's saying, oh, he doesn't know how old he is, oh, who's Young Thug, he's never spoke to a lawyer. He's doing a lot of stuff that he's just playing the standing games, the antics on the stand, because he doesn't want to be there. But it was his indictment, or should I say his interrogation video, that leaked where he checked his own pulse, which pretty much set this entire YSL indictment into the flames.
All right. Hello again, Mr. Copeland. Your attorney, Mr. Melnick, is with us by Zoom right now. You can see him on the video screen and he can see you. If there's any time you want to talk to him privately, let me know that. And I know y'all have had an opportunity since you and I spoke this morning from the bench and the stand to talk about the fact that the state is not interested in you pleading the fifth, and in order to avoid you pleading the fifth, they have secured an order that says you now can be essentially compelled to testify, because we are acknowledging that anything that you say, we cannot prosecute you for a crime other than perjury or false statements based on something that you might say that would otherwise incriminate you if it weren't for this immunity order.
YSL Woody's currently hip-hop's biggest troll. He's playing dumb in court, he's acting oblivious, he's acting like he doesn't know what's going on. Now, YSL Woody's actually fired his other lawyers in the past, so when the Judge Whittaker would ask that if he's being represented by Judge, or should I say, lawyer Whitmaker, who's his defense attorney, he straight up said that he doesn't know. Now, I'm not sure if he's saying that because he doesn't want to have to take the stand, or he doesn't want to have a legal aid, or he doesn't want to have someone to, I guess, be on his side to act like he's still trying to testify, but he denounced that.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Okay. Does anybody, I think I've got the order. Mr. Melnick, have you reviewed the immunity order with him?
Oh, you saying it's the same from last time?
Hang on a second. Yeah, the same one as last time. Yeah, that one. So that's the one I'm talking about. And that is still in effect.
So you're saying that changed?
It has not changed.
All right.
So what has changed is, it's my opinion that I cannot hold you in jail if you refuse to testify beyond the end of this trial. I think you had maybe been told something different earlier, and I don't think that is
So I ain't got to wait
accurate.
till every defendant that's not here.
Correct. But you would, if you choose not to testify despite this order, you would potentially be held in jail through the end of this trial, which might be February of next year, might be March of next year. I really don't know. It ends when it ends. And the state has 100 more witnesses, and I don't know, any defendant might also have witnesses. So it could take a while.
Now, the reason why they even brought him on the stage in the first place is because they want him to redo his testimony. Yep, you've heard it. They want him to all the videos we've seen over the last couple months, they want him to redo that because of a Brady violation that they had priorly, as well as he said that he was a liar on the stand. He said that half the stuff I said wasn't true. I'm making stuff up. I'm not truthful. So he's trying to make the prosecution look even less credible, right? Which he's making everybody look less credible. He's making the defense look less credible. He's not believable. So he's equally hurting every party. But if I'm going to be honest, he's definitely helping the defense more because this was the defense star witness, right? Like the YSL Woody 3-hour documentary or the 3-hour interrogation being leaked. That's what kickstarted this entire thing, right? So YSL Woody's interrogation footage, or should I say his testimony in court, is a big part of the prosecution saying that, oh, he's this gang leader. He's doing this. Doug is doing this. He paid so-and-so to do this. They're trying to connect it to the Donovan Thomas murder. But all I'm saying today is they're trying to say to him that if he doesn't testify or he doesn't, go on the stand, which he can't plead the fifth for, he's going to be thrown back into jail till this trial is finished and all the way in March or February of next year. And the trial can pretty much go even longer, right? So there's really no sense of, I don't even want to say urgency, but there's no sense of time of when this trial really is going to end. So Woody is in a tough spot. The prosecutor Love is heavily relying on YSL Woody's testimony to almost implicate Young Thug in some way to the Big Nut or Donovan Thomas murder, or at least corroborate the narrative that Young Thug is this John Gotti, this mob boss, in King Slime, essentially, in the shot caller in Atlanta. Judge Woodacre would also tell Woody that she plans on having the jury come into court on Monday, so she wants to know ahead of time, hey, am I wasting my time telling these people to come into court if you're not going to say anything that's worth hearing, or if you're not even going to say anything, period? Let me know if I'm going to be wasting the tax people's time, the tax people's money. Just let me know up front, or else I can throw you in jail. We can save the hassle and move on to the next witness.
Ask you right now because I'm planning to have the jury back on Monday. And I am going to tell them we would essentially start over because I want you to have a voluntary, to an extent, choice and knowing choice whether to take the stand and be questioned and cross-examined or not, knowing that if you do, other than if you lie, as Mr. Melnick's discussed with you, and it's something the state knows and can prove, they could charge you with perjury or false statements, but they can't, if you incriminate yourself about another kind of crime, they cannot use that to charge you with a crime. And they can't say,
Well, can I speak?
you can,
I
yeah,
have
if you
told
have
the
a,
state.
huh?
I have told the state I have lied and lied and lied and lied.
I know.
So how are they going to be able to question me?
I mean, that'll be their problem. That's their case to make or not make. I mean, that's not for you or me to worry about.
YSL Woody made a good point because they don't actually know what is true and what is false. So they're going to have to pretty much read between the lines or track information and make their best get of what they believe is true that he said and what they believe that he's lying. Now, on top of that, they have the Brady violation. Now, for those who don't know, a Brady violation is when the prosecution doesn't disclose certain information, evidence that they're putting against the defense, right? Now, everyone has the right to a fair trial. So if you want to, indict me on a murder and you have, let's say, text message of me talking to the person I'm murdering or talking to the person that's me, my driver, and that's not disclosed, and I guess we didn't know it. And maybe that's not even the best example I should bring up, right? But point is, everything that's put against me, I have to know about. I have to know how I can defend it. I got to at least have the presence or at least the knowledge that this is being brought against you, right? And that's why I thought this whole trial, they've had issues with discovery rules because it seems like though this trial, they're discovering new information every week, right? It's something, oh, this lawyer was here. And the one thing that's been very crazy is they've had the ex parte meeting. Now, for those who don't know, ex parte stands for a one-sided meeting. And essentially, Judge Glanville or Judge Euro Glanville, and that's the reason why he got taken off the case, is that they had a meeting with Judge Glanville and I believe all the prosecutors without the defense alongside YSL Woody. So it was YSL Woody, Judge Glanville, and all the prosecutors. So the defense had no recollection or even knew that this meeting took place on June 10th. And it's just a bad look because they already are being involved in the Brady violation because they're not disclosing all the personal information that they're trying against YSL Woody as well as Young Thug. And then they're going to personally meet outside of court, undocumented, off camera, and the defense is just simply at disadvantage because we don't know what you told the judge. You could have been influencing the judge. You could have been telling them information that we never knew. You could have been a new discovery that the judge now knows and can act like they always knew along or like was given them before. It's just not very fair, right? Like in the court of law, even though the judicial system is very flawed, you still have to have your due diligence and move it properly and like do things right in the court. So that was a big thing, and I'm gonna be honest, this judge is way more fair than Euro Glanville, and she's seeing through all the BS and through all the lines, and people are feeling her. In the past couple of days, Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, has asked the judge to remove prosecutor Love and Hilton because they have not been truthful and pretty much have not been upholding good court etiquette. This judge is so much less biased and pretty much has been seeing through all the smoky mirrors and the facades that the last judge couldn't catch on to.
Talking about a duty that is intentionally and knowingly not followed through by me, and I owe it to her. And I saw your email saying, whoever wrote that, you come into court. I understood it.
I don't think Ms. Love did herself any favors with that.
Well, the favors have to end. I'm not trying to, I've never done this before in my history of living in a courtroom, but it's just not appropriate that I can't accept a proffer from a lawyer. I've never said that before. I've never uttered any of those words. So I'll leave it with you. My point is, it doesn't end. There have been no sanctions. It's been ratified almost. And it's from everything. It's just, I put in paragraph 2, just choice examples from my memory. But it is constant. There are great people everywhere in the courts, and they shouldn't be treated like this. So I'm asking you to disqualify because it's just not, at some point, the message needs to be sent that this is not the state of Georgia and this is not our bar.
All right, thank you. As I understood the gravamen of your motion that you filed since I've been the presiding judge to disqualify Ms. Love and Ms. Hilton, it was because you needed them as a witness, and that was the basis of my ruling. And in Mr. Shart's motion that is under consideration right now is a request, again, to disqualify them. And I know that I previously said, y'all, that's a matter for the bar. And when I was talking about that, I essentially meant and I don't want to call it bickering back and forth because I'm not sure it's been back and forth to any large extent, but that kind of thing, whatever it is that had been talked about before, that's what I was talking about. I will tell you that this court takes Brady violations very seriously. And I mean, everybody ought to, prosecutors ought to, and I am considering that right now. So rest assured that I am aware and have been aware that I have the authority if I choose to remove them.
Thank you.
So, all right. Do y'all want to be heard from the state on this?
Now, this was a bit of a shorter video today, but we're going to be covering way more of the Young Thug trial on a daily basis. Lock in with your boy Jared Star. We going up major this year. Let's keep on going up.